We are live. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending where you are in the world. Tom Ginn, Elevate Your Profit, and
Mark answered.
Mark. Good afternoon, and I'm really excited today for our interview with Brian, which we'll introduce here in a moment. But before we get going, I'm going to do our little rollout, and we'll come back and start our program tonight. So here we go. There we go. Elevate your profits. Mark, I'll let you go ahead and explain a little bit to the audience about Elevate Your Profits, a little bit about our background, us working together, co-hosting this platform. So it's all yours, my friend.
Well, thank you. It is Monday, a magnificent Monday. And thank you, Tom. It's been close to 3 years. What is Elevate Your Profits all about? Very simply, it could be somebody that is solopreneur, entrepreneur, someone that's really heavy duty into business. And it's okay to talk about money on this show. We don't mind because it is Elevate Your Profits. However, we've had other people on here that have a cause, a purpose, a desire. They want to get recognized, known, and they're doing good things out there in the community. It could be anywhere from technology, medical. We've had people that have written books. I won't get into all that. We've even had a disciple of Napoleon Hill on this rascal, Ben Gay the third. I call him
last living person ever coached by Napoleon Hill.
Yes, absolutely. So we've had all different types of people, industries, and tonight's guest is no different. And what I'm really excited about with this tool that we have that we're using right now, the BeeKonnected tool, we're going to get into why you use this, what it can do for you. And, I'll say that word, how you could even monetize, and do things with it. But all in all, we're about us, the Elevate Your Profits of Tom and Mark, learning from everybody that's been on this podcast. That's what it's all about. It's give and take, and no one's right, no one's wrong. We're just learning from one another, growing, developing, and that's it in a nutshell, pretty much, Tom.
Wonderful. Great job, my friend. Yeah, it's been, I can't believe, before we introduced Brian, I was telling him it's been almost 3 years this month, I think, and how we met through Ken Walls. Oh, I give credit where credit's due. Yes. It's these type of platforms that help you expand your reach, brand yourself through live streaming. So no matter what type of business you're in or what your cause or mission is, I honestly believe if you're not live streaming and putting your content out, you're going to fall way behind the competition. So if you ever want to know more about how to do this type of platform, reach out to Mark or myself. But today I have the honor to introduce Brian Wagstaff. Brian's part of the BeeKonnected family. He's also an Elite 100 coach, which I am also, as well as help people better understand how to use this platform. But Brian, I always like to start out a little bit about where you're from, a little bit about your history, your business history, where you are today, where you're going, what your mission, and what your why is. So, Brian, it's all yours, my friend. Welcome to Elevate Your Profits.
All right. Well, thanks, Tom and Mark, for having me on. So to tell you a little bit about me, I live in Orem, Utah. I don't really call this home exactly, though. I was raised in Spokane, Washington. Spent most of my time in Spokane, and came to Utah so that my wife could sing with the Tabernacle Choir. But anyway, my background is actually in engineering. I got a degree in manufacturing engineering, and I attended BYU in Provo, Utah. And actually, we came back here to the Provo area. We actually live in Orem, Utah. So I got an engineering degree, and the reason I did that was that my dad's an engineer, and I have cousins that are engineers, and they had a family business that was all engineers. So I thought I had to be an engineer to work there and fit in, which didn't actually work out. And found out that I really wasn't in love with engineering. I was more in love with the idea of pleasing my father, or doing what I thought I had to do to be good in his eyes, which was the wrong reason to get into engineering. And I worked for like 4 different companies, and one of them being Boeing. And when I was at Boeing, I found that I was just a cog in a big machine, and I didn't feel like I was making much of a difference or anything. My sister she recommended that I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which is a pretty popular book. And it inspired me to go off and do something different and to leave engineering. And I got into real estate investment and started flipping houses and buying real estate. And that was much more fun than being an engineer. I like that much more. The other thing that happened in that process was I felt like, if I don't show up at work at Boeing's going to be fine. They're not going to miss me. In fact, there were lots of times like I went on vacation and they didn't miss me at all. Like they still rolled out planes without me. And I came back from a vacation one time, didn't have a single voicemail on my phone, and I thought, even though I didn't really want a voicemail, I thought I'm not even important enough to get a voicemail while I'm gone. So how important am I really? And then when I got into business myself, I started thinking, okay, without me, there is no business. So it definitely, I felt like I was making a lot more of a difference, in my real estate business, investing and all that stuff. So and along the way, some things happened, like 2008, 2009, when real estate crashed, and I started looking at what am I going to do to make more money, because I just wasn't making enough money in real estate. And I started looking at multi-level marketing, even though I had promised myself I would never do it. I started looking at it and seeing the benefits of it, or benefits of the products and that kind of thing. And I skipped from one company to another. And I thought that was because the companies are bad, or this just wasn't the right opportunity, or there's something wrong with the company, or there's something wrong with my team leader, or whoever I was connected to in the company. And found out that it was not the companies, it was me. It was my mindset. So I started hiring coaches and working on myself and working on my mindset. And in the process of that, I decided I needed to become a coach myself. However, it took a little bit of time before I came to that. I decided to become a real estate agent through all that, and I found out that I liked investing in real estate, but being a real estate agent was not for me, not at all. I hated almost everything about it, except for showing homes. Showing homes was the only thing I liked. Everything else with the contracts and the negotiations, I didn't like that at all. So that actually was the incentive for me to say, okay, I am going to become a coach. And I pulled the plug 4 years ago and became a full-time coach. And then about 2.5 years ago, in a networking group, a business broker came to me and said, hey, I've got a business that you might be interested in. And he said, it's called the Public Speakers Association. And I thought, oh, no, I'm good doing what I'm doing. But the more he talked to me about it, the more I thought, hey, this is a good idea. This is cool. This is a way I can get into public speaking, because it's something that I wanted to do anyway. I wanted to be able to speak to more people than just one person, just one-on-one coaching. I love one-on-one coaching, but I wanted to be able to get my message out to more people. So I thought I should become a public speaker. That's the way to go. And what better way than buying the Public Speakers Association? I thought that will get me from the pan to the fire, it was kind of, or baptism by fire kind of, forced me into public speaking. So anyway, I bought the Public Speakers Association from a man named Jason Anilek, and Jason introduced me to the founder of the Public Speakers Association, and that's Tanya Hoffman. So I met Tanya, and she taught me about what she's doing now. And so she told me, "Hey, Brian, you really should look at BeeKonnected." She said when she sold the Public Speakers Association to Jason, she started BeeKonnected. And so BeeKonnected, I learned about it 2.5 years ago, and said, okay, yeah, I want to do this. So that's how I was introduced to Tanya. That's how I was introduced to BeeKonnected. And it's also through the Public Speakers Association. So when I started thinking about it, I was kind of stumped, or I didn't know, okay, should I use the Public Speakers Association to grow BeeKonnected, or should I use BeeKonnected to grow the Public Speakers Association? And then after a while, I figured out, oh, well, I can do both.
Exactly.
And I can do both at the same time.
Yeah.
And so I really love how the BeeKonnected is designed for speakers and coaches, because that's what I am. I'd say a coach first and a speaker second, but it's made for coaches and people who want to help other people, and that really is that's my why. That's why I do the things that I do, is I want to be able to help other people. And I've done a number of different businesses, and it seemed like that's what I was always looking at was, okay, how am I helping people through this business? And even in real estate, when I was doing real estate, I started asking myself, okay, am I really helping people? Because I'm not coaching them. But then I did realize, oh, hey, when I help a first-time home buyer, that was fun. I actually did like that, being able to help a first-time home buyer get into a home, because real estate ownership, I believe, is just really is crucial to our country and our economy.
Sure.
Is owning real estate.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's where I'm at. That's what I want to do, is be able to help people. I want to help them grow their businesses. I want to help people in their relationships. I enjoy coaching men, helping men with their relationship with their wife or their significant other, helping them in their businesses. Because a lot of times when we struggle in our marriage, we struggle in our business, and they're related.
Yeah.
The same habits that we have in our marriage, we have in our business. So anyway, that's me in a nutshell. Is there anything else you wanted to
Well, I'm just going to ask a question here of you. Myself, being a personal development coach and Bob Proctor certified coach, understanding that the results we get are directly related to our subconscious thinking. Who were some of the greatest influencers? Because I think this is important for people to hear it out there, is that you may have a skill or a talent or knowledge base in a field that could separate you from other people, but having all those talents isn't the key. It's really what goes on here. Who are some of the greatest influencers that you use in yourself becoming coached, and the value of being coaching? What did you come away with being coached?
Well, people that really influenced me. I think Stephen Covey with the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Yeah.
He's one that I actually started studying when I was in college, studying engineering. I had an engineering class that we had to read 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So I think that was really the first book that I got and said, oh yeah, this is really good stuff. Working on my mindset or working on my habits. That's a really important thing.
Yeah. So I know this personally because I've had some pretty good mentors in my life and built some pretty strong relationships with them over the years. And it's mentoring and coaching, being coached by somebody that can see a path for you, understand who you are, where you're strong, where you're weak, and help you work through those issues, because we all have them, is significant. So anybody out there in developing yourself is I believe the number one thing investment should make in your business is, what does it take on the mindset side to win? Because success is a very fragile medium. It doesn't take much to lose that desire, as Napoleon Hill talks about. I call it your why, your passion, your purpose. One of the things I learned from one of my clients in coaching, he was a former quarterback at Syracuse University. He was slated to be a number one draft choice in the NFL. In the first quarter, the first play of his senior year, he ruptured his Achilles tendon, sort of like an Aaron Rodgers type thing. Mm-hmm. And so he was lost. All the people were hanging on his shirt tails because they were looking at big paydays from Terrell, and so he was a victim of what I call it. He was abandoned, basically, because he didn't have any more he was no longer a viable merchandise for these folks. So I started coaching, but he turned me on to, I was coaching through PGI, Thinking of Results, and he turned me on to a gentleman. I encourage everybody out there that's listening to this, look up Dr. Miles Monroe, The Power of Vision. Because when you get that piece really solidified at an emotional level, nothing gets in your way. It's that power of your vision, your purpose, and why. He states it's clearer than anybody of all the personal development coaches I've had. I learned from him that goals don't work. Goals are nothing more than the processes you take to accomplish the end result you're seeking. And but if you have a clear vision, nothing gets in your way, whether it be the economy, relationships, failures. I've failed in business. I've been in situations where I've lost everything and came back, and if I didn't have mentors to help me recognize getting through those situations, I wouldn't be here today. So I owe it a lot to mentors and coaching for my success and where I'm at today. If I tried to do it on my own, I'd still be still working in a warehouse, I'm sure, negotiating contracts with the Teamsters. So, but anyway, thanks for sharing with it. Who else is an influencer too besides Steve Covey? You said Rich Dad Poor Dad, Kiyosaki.
Oh yeah, definitely. Kiyosaki was definitely an influence on me. Some others are, you mentioned Napoleon Hill. One of my coaches had me read Think and Grow Rich and Napoleon Hill. And also went through a program from Mary Morrissey. I don't know if any of you
it's one of Bob Proctor's
proteges, or
she tapped into him and they collaborated together, Mary Morrissey and several others. I've met her personally. She's an awesome lady. So who else?
Let's see. Brooke Castillo. I listened to her podcast extensively before I chose a different coach to be trained by. It just happens that Brooke's program didn't work out for my timing, so I hired another coach to get certified from. Just a local guy that I knew.
Okay. So you were approached from a business broker about the PSA. You recognize it may be an avenue for you as a business opportunity as well. Can I bring up your website so people can see it? I like the opening statement in your website. I want to bring that up for everybody to take a look at. I loved your statement there. Change the world from the front of the room. So within what do you offer people in your PSA? There's many different things. You do coaching on how to speak, help them get booked in events. What are all the things you do with the PSA?
We host a virtual summit every month, and that's where speakers can come on and they can work on their skills as speakers, or they can also present or tell us about their programs that they have. So we have speakers of all different abilities. So we have, newbies, and we have the well-seasoned speakers that have their coaching programs. They come on and promote their speaking programs. We also have times where new speakers can come on, and then we have a guest judge. I hate to say judge, I should say coach. We have a guest coach that coaches them on their speaking, gives them pointers and stuff. Anyway, yeah, because I personally don't do well when I'm being judged when I speak. I've been part of some other speaking organizations that are very critical and count how many times you say or and that doesn't work for me. So we do it a little bit differently, where it's more positive feedback instead of telling everyone what they're doing wrong.
Yeah. You also made a comment that, are you going to build a business with PSA? How would you use BeeKonnected and PSA together? So share a little bit of what you're seeing with what this platform allows people to do in speaking from the front of the room.
Well, I really like the BeeKonnected platform, the versus using Zoom. I'm really excited about the possibilities of using BeeKonnected platform, and also using the BeeKonnected groups. We have a Facebook group for the Public Speakers Association that doesn't really work very well. There's 9,000 people in there, but we're not really reaching very many of them. When we post things on there, it doesn't get to very many of them, and we don't have a lot of them coming to us or really interacting with us. So it's I don't know, people I think just join the group and that's it. And then they get lost and they don't become part of the group. So I'm excited about having BeeKonnected and having people that are really seriously are connected, where they're meeting one another and they're finding new business opportunities through other people, rather than just scrolling through Facebook and maybe looking at a post, but never doing anything. In fact, it seems like there's a lot of people that complain about different things in the organization and the association, but they also don't ever show up to any of our events. They don't take advantage of what we offer, and then they're the first to complain. But anyway, I think that BeeKonnected will help with that, because we will have, people will be there who really want to be there, who want to be part of the community, rather than just, I don't know, someone looking for a easy way to get on the stage or whatever. I think a lot of them just think that we're just gonna, I'm part of your group. Oh, you're gonna pay me to speak, or I've had people ask that too. How much do you guys pay for speaking? It's like, we don't do that.
Hey, Brian, I do have a quick question. You mentioned something there, and could you share with us again, like people hop on, like you said, Facebook or other platforms. What attracted you to BeeKonnected? What stuck for you? Like, here you are with this group that you have, this public speaking group. So how do they work in tandem? I'm sure you've got a vision for it. Looking at your website and all that, where do you want to take it?
Well, the first thing that got me excited was the way you can go in and you fill out your profile, and then you can find other people that that fit your profile. The way it was explained to me was it's kind of like a dating service for business people. So I really like that.
In its purest form. So do you think that, I know Tom's talked about this too, like from an artificial intelligence, we hear so much about that. You mentioned about filling out a profile. So that puts you in touch with like-minded individuals like yourself. Am I right?
Yes. In fact, that's how I met Tom and how we connected and started talking about doing this together.
Cool.
Yeah. Find that common thread, I call it. And you mentioned something that, people are, 9,000 people in your PSA Facebook group. People don't realize this. Less than 5% of those people in that group even get your message. So if you want to promote an event or promote somebody or whatever, so let's say you have 10,000 people, less than 5% of those. Mark, what's the math on 10,000?
What,
500
10,000?
people?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, 500 people even get your message if they're even monitoring their Facebook posts. So here in this platform, you migrate those followers in your Facebook to the BeeKonnected group, private or public. You make a notification out there. 100% of the people in your group get the message. I think that's significant in any marketing or business strategy, is that you work hard to get a following and branding and all that. And some organization or some other platforms got control of your destiny. That's not a good strategy, in my opinion. So BeeKonnect is all about the business person, how they become more efficient, be seen, be heard, and be found. So that's what I love about this platform. Like right now we're streaming. I consider this public speaking right now. So don't judge me, because I was in one of those organizations, Toastmasters, that does a lot of the critiquing of counting the ums and ahs and all that. So, and count the so's in the conversation. So with that all said, I totally understand what you're saying. Instead of letting your true essence flow, let that communication speak instead of perfect grammar, perfect delivery.
Yeah. So, I mean, getting back to Facebook is it's not really designed for doing business. It's made to be, it's a social place that happens to have a lot of people trying to do business on there, but you have to do it the Facebook way or it doesn't work, or you have to boost your post, spend $1,000 or whatever to boost a post. And then I don't know what percent get it if you boost them. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what I love about this platform. The intention of the founders of the company is make it beneficial for the end user to promote their business, to brand themselves, be more effective, save money. What I love about this platform, if I wanted to try to replicate and duplicate the capabilities we're doing right here, it'd cost me well over $400 to $500 a month, when our platform is $19 to $49 a month. So significant savings right there for more power, more deliverability, high quality, personal branding, like you can see off here to the left. My virtual meetings and my network. I'm a network marketing guy, so I believe that's a great vehicle for most people to go in business. I call it nothing more than a franchise. It's pretty much modeled after franchising, network marketing. So
Right.
So this is, I love this platform because what I do is always here for somebody, one click away. They can click on it, opens up in the browser, stays there. When the webinar is over, that content's still in front of them. And that's significant in your marketing. You get them emotionally involved in your offer. They're able to take advantage of it immediately or take advantage of it when you're done with your conference. So I think that's a huge, huge benefit. What else do you see with the BeeKonnected?
Well, you made me think more about Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg. Do you think that he really cares how your business is doing? Or you stay on Facebook, you're really just making him rich. You get into BeeKonnected and work on your business through BeeKonnected, and I can tell you, Tanya she cares about our businesses. She cares about them, and she would rather give back to us to help us build our businesses than just line her pockets, Yeah.
Because you take a look at either it be Zoom, LinkedIn, Twitter, any of these other social media platforms. they're taking your algorithms, taking your data, and they're
Right.
selling it off. They're selling your data. So you do a post, the next thing you know, you see all these advertisings relative to what you typed into a post. So it's kind of interesting how that works. They're monetizing you and I. Here you have an opportunity to monetize your following. When people see this platform, we offer it for free. This platform for free probably covers 90% of what most businesses need, 80 to 90%, I would say in that. Would you agree?
Yeah.
And for a nominal $19.95, you get all the power of this platform with the widgets and the creating public and private groups and things. Plus, you can monetize this platform, become an affiliate with us. I always put this number out there. Let's say you have 1,000 people to follow you, and you're an influencer. They're following you for a reason, right? There's something you've brought to the table that they like about you or what you're offering your business is. Now, let's say 50% of those people join BeeKonnected through your affiliate link, and they upgrade. BeeKonnected is going to pay you monthly on that subscription. So here you have an opportunity. Let's say 50% of your people that follow you become paid subscribers or members of the BeeKonnected platform at $49.95. BeeKonnected is going to pay you. Zuckerberg doesn't pay you, does he?
No.
LinkedIn doesn't pay you, does it?
Our group of 9,000, it's not paying me anything.
Right.
Yeah, funny you mentioned that. Somebody here, I think it's Robert Brooker, said that he said, it used to be that your post would be shown to the newest 30 friends for sure. It was a good reason to leave some space for those people. But I've noticed in the past, I'm not always connecting with people like friends or whatever. So I have no idea if I'm reaching out to them other than if I do a direct message, through Facebook. Those are just things I've noticed. I don't know about the rest of you, but it's definitely different, for sure, as compared to when I first signed up for it and used, Facebook compared to this. I mean, I'm always getting notifications in my email. You have a new chat or you have this or a friend request. So it's kind of cool, and you just accept it and plug in and go from there.
With regards to the PSA, again, how do people get a hold of you? Just go to the website.
Yeah, publicspeakersassociation.com.
Okay.
There it is.
All right. So I put it back up again. Learn about what Brian has to offer there. Join a community of like-minded people. If you want to speak in front of on stage, or even speak here on live streaming, I consider it's pretty much the same thing. You're talking to an audience. We just happen to be behind a camera.
Yeah.
I'd encourage you to look up Brian, because I guess you offer courses, workshops, seminars, have events that people could join.
Yeah, and there's online trainings on the website.
Okay. Mark, what else you have to ask here?
Well, I was just going to ask them, Brian, you got to share with us. So now that you are into BeeKonnected, have you noticed a difference compared to some other platforms you've used in the past? Number one. Number two, the type of individual you're now connecting with in terms of what you're doing through PSA. Could you share that with us?
Well, I haven't. I mean, it's still kind of new, the BeeKonnected part. I say I joined 2.5 years ago, but I didn't actually do anything for about 2 years. But I can tell you that the people I have met on BeeKonnected are they're quality people, and they've got skill sets that complement what we do in PSA. So I'm finding good contacts to make more connections with.
Can I make a comment in regards to that? When I've connected with people on BeeKonnected, I get a much different type of response, because we all know We're here to collaborate, create synergies, help support each other. We may not become a customer or user of their product or service, but at least we know about each other. We become promoters of people we know, like, and trust. I've gotten so much more responses with BeeKonnected versus LinkedIn, Facebook. You put out, hey, let's connect. I think we have something in common. Very few responses back on those other mediums.
Yeah, I agree. Well, and that reminds me now, like really probably 90% of the connections that I get from Facebook are spammers. So, I mean, I'm constantly dealing with spammers through text, email, on the Facebook trolls. Yeah. And,
Or
and
bot.
even, and lots of stuff that's even in foreign languages that I don't even know. So I don't know what to do with those.
So
That's wild. Yeah. Or franchises. That's another one on the LinkedIn end of things. That's another thing that you start to see more of. I get a lot of that. A lot of DMs from people I don't even know about franchising.
I get texts from people every day that I don't know that
I'm sure you do.
that I've got to weed through.
Going back to the personal development. So Covey, Kiyosaki, who else?
Napoleon Hill, Brooke Castillo, Mary Morrissey.
Yeah.
I did do a lot. I mean, Bob Proctor was, I followed him for quite a while. Another gentleman named Kirk Duncan. I don't know if
Doesn't ring a bell.
you know him. No. Yeah, Kirk Duncan is here in Utah. But he's got people from all over the world that sign up for his stuff. He's really into vision boards.
Okay.
He's taught me the most on vision boards of anyone that I've met.
Yeah, I remember when I was first introduced to vision boards, I thought it was woo-woo stuff. But, there's been scientific research and studies on vision boards. I think UCLA did one on vision boards. People that create vision boards, 80% of things that they have on the vision board, they accomplish. That is a very significant number. So it's visualizing the things that you want in light and keeping in front of you at an emotional level. That's the key about vision boards, in my opinion. They work. I think that's important for people to know, is that you hear these vision boards, writing out your affirmations, gratitude statements, journaling, and all these type of things. When you look at the people that are succeeding at higher levels than where you might be, they're doing those things, and they work. That's what I just let people know. Tom Giddens wouldn't be here doing this program if it didn't change my mindset, my confidence to get in front of a camera and talk to people. I can't even see them, so it makes it a little. I'd rather speak in front of a crowd up on a stage than behind the microphone. But if it wasn't for that personal development, I wouldn't be here today. Just because my self-confidence. What can I deliver to help people become better? That's part of my mission. What can I contribute to help improve somebody's life? And what would you share with somebody that's maybe like yourself? You got into a career that you recognize once you got into it, you go, nah, this isn't where I want to be for whatever reason. That's sort of how I stumbled into going into financial services for 29 years, is I was working in a warehouse environment. A friend of mine, Al Hayashida, we were sitting down watching people come into work, and everybody's zombies. Same time, we sat there for a week and watched, and we looked at the clock. It's 6:55. So and so is going to come through the door. Sure enough, it's 6:55. So and so comes to the doors. They go through the same routine of punching in, going over to their equipment, getting it set up for the day, and sitting down with the same conversations. He says, Tom, that's in 30 years, you'll be doing the same thing they are. Do you want to do that? And I said, no way. That opened up my vision. What can I do? And then a friend of mine was in financial services. Hey, you may want to be looking at a new career change if you're unhappy. So I looked at financial service and made that jump. I was coached by Art Williams, A.L. Williams, and was in there 29 years. And he was my first real mentor on a personal basis. Besides, one of his national directors of sales required us to read Napoleon Hill, and every Thursday in our management or leadership meetings, we'd go through the book and we'd go through what we wrote and our goals and our affirmations and all that every week. And at some point we said, Richard, we don't need to do this. We did it last week. And he says, no, we're doing it again this week. So we went through that whole process. In that 3 or 4 year period of doing that, I became the #1 district in the entire company out of 10,000. And I thought it was all me. Then when Richard left, that discipline sort of went away and I fell back down to the middle of the pack. It wasn't until I got involved with Bob Proctor did I realize it was all that disciplined work and repetition and instilling confidence and belief on a daily basis that got me where I was at. So what would you share with anybody that desires to be in business for himself because they're not unhappy where they're at, or somebody that's in business for themselves? What would you recommend for them to do with regards to getting off to the right step?
Well, I think the first thing that I would say is to not worry about how old you are when you're making these decisions. I'm 55, and I don't know. I was trying to figure out how many careers I've had since I graduated from college. I don't know. It's like 5 or 6, or how many different businesses I've owned. And everything that I've gone into, it seems like my past has just helped me. It hasn't hurt me. I mean, getting an engineering degree, even though I said it was the wrong choice, I don't regret it. I mean, getting an engineering degree was difficult, and it made me who I am today. And I think, okay, I'm a life coach, and I think personally, I would rather have a life coach that's 55 than one that's 25, because a 25-year-old life coach, how much life have they lived? How much do they really know? And like when I was a real estate agent, I kind of worried about being like the oldest guy on the team, and other real estate agents told me, said, Brian, don't worry about that. They said, I think that, people would rather work with a real estate agent that's older. They'll just assume that you have 30 years of real estate experience or whatever, So I say, yeah, don't worry about your age. Like say you are 55 and you're 10 years away from retirement at whatever company, but you hate it. Get out and go do what you want to do. Find what you love and go do it. Just take that step. Having the courage to take the step is the hardest part, really. And and me reading Rich Dad Poor Dad was what I needed to get out and go do what I wanted to do instead of what the Boeing Corporation wanted me to do.
Right. The society wants you to do the cultural programming. You go to college, get a degree, get a job, and retire. I call that's a grave with ends in it. It's just a grave. That's how I look at it. So I'm glad Al and I sat there that week.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just glad that Al and I sat there that week and just watched people. It really instilled with me. I did not want what I was seeing, because I saw myself falling into habits in the same situation, becoming a zombie to the corporation. And I said, I don't want to be here. I want more creativity. I want to get paid for my efforts. I don't want to get, paid the same as everybody else, even though I worked harder than most people, even in that job. So it didn't serve me to work harder. So I decided to go into business, serving and helping people understand what it takes to win with money, through Art Williams and the common sense principles of winning with money. Then became a Dave Ramsey coach, then became a Bob Proctor coach. Understanding behavior is the key to success, is what is your belief systems and the habits you've created through your belief systems. So thanks for sharing.
Yeah, well, I was going to say that a lot of people say that getting out and getting that job that lasts 40 years or whatever is security. But I don't know anyone that's in the same job for 40 years anymore.
No.
And I don't think that any of them are that secure. They're less and less secure.
Absolutely. We're going to see some big changes here coming up. So if you follow what's happening with technology and what's going on with artificial intelligence and automation and that kind of thing, a lot of jobs are going to be replaced. So I always encourage people, find that thing you love that gets you excited in the morning, and find something that gives you passive residual income. That's what turned me on about financial services. I do the hard work on the front end, develop that relationship, develop the customer. They continue renewing their investment plan or their financial service package that we sold them. I get paid every year, and I got paid for 30 some years on my first clients ever. So that made a lot of sense. You work hard, but you continue to get paid for those efforts. I encourage anybody out there, find that thing that will pay you passive residual income. That's what I love about BeeKonnected, the affiliate program. Those that want to share a good resource, it's free. Everybody can afford free to help them improve their business with this platform. And a percentage of them are going to upgrade because they see the value of the whole power of this platform. You don't have to have everybody switch over to be a paid customer, and it will grow organically. And so I'm a big believer in passive residual income. Right, Mark?
Absolutely. Yeah, I can attest to that. I did want to ask you one thing, Brian. I forgot. Can you tell us about your podcast that you got on there with the PSA? Do you host that, or not? Or are you get involved with that at all?
I mean, the podcast it's on the website,
Right.
but it's not on any of the standard platforms like,
Okay.
Like Stitcher or can't even think of all the different ones, but
iHeartRadio and Spotify and all those.
yeah, Spotify and all those. It's not on any of those, and that's what I'd really like to do. But we haven't done an episode for some time, so
Okay.
yeah. But after talking to Tom, and I've been thinking, yes, that's part that we need to be doing with PSA and BeeKonnected and putting back out at least a weekly podcast through.
Do what you're doing right now.
BeeKonnected. What's
Yeah.
that?
You said, do what you're doing right now. You're doing great. Stream it.
Right, and then just find different guests every week.
Right.
It's coordinating times may be difficult, but most people want to share their story that are in business. So finding people that think like you, that they want to get into your market and vice versa. You want to get into their market. Somebody like Ben Gay has 250,000 people in his following, and we've interviewed him. So now we're in his market. So anybody that's seen us in the past, they tag and share and that type of thing. So we're out there on a regular basis in front of people we would have never been able to connect with through live streaming or podcasting. So, and this platform is going to make it that much easier and that much more effective with this platform. So anybody out there, encourage you to look up Mark Gassert or myself, and we'll be glad to help you, or even Brian, to become a member of the BeeKonnected family. Great resources, great purpose to help you succeed in business. So.
It's kind of quiet here, guys. Do you want me to hear? But no, what I was going to say is I've used this now with other people in the business I do. It's kind of wild when they sign in because, wow, what is this? It's not like Teams, or it's not like Zoom. It's a little different for them. I'll say, yeah, just sign in and bam, it works. I like it. It's kind of cool. You don't get that. You only have so many minutes to speak, or if you don't have a real account and some of those other platforms. This one, you just send someone an invite and you're off to the races. So I personally like this for that. When you're talking business, you don't get interrupted.
Yeah,
That's just me, but
Well, Brian, so you recognize that engineering wasn't for you. You went into real estate. Your approach right, but
An analytical, my man. Brian's an analytical.
he had good analytical. He made a good decision on becoming part of the BeeKonnected team and doing what he's doing. I'm a promoter of personal development for success. You could have all the knowledge and skills in a particular niche or industry you're in. That's not the key to success. It's important to be knowledgeable, but it's about your belief system. It's so much more important. Your why and what are you delivering to the market is so critical. Something you can get excited with every day. So,
Well said. Yes, I agree.
all right. Well, Mark, I know you got a baseball to go call balls and strikes.
Well, I'm not. I'm actually going to be in the field. So my partner said he'd do it, and that's cool. And, I'll watch him whether he gets hit or whatever back there. When it gets cold, sometimes it's not fun when a foul ball matriculates in your face mask or your arm or whatever, and then it turns a lot of different shades of color on you. So, yeah. It's always
What age group are you?
Tonight is Brian. This is younger guys. It's 12, like 12, 13. So, and all I will say with a smile is that all these kids in the eyes of their loved ones are going to go to the MLB someday. But we all know that's not true. But God forbid if you call them out on balls and strikes. That's horrible. But that's why I like baseball. I really, it's all the stuff you talk about here. Even from an umpire's perspective, your approach, how you approach people, you learn a lot. You learn a lot how to deal with different characters on the field. You get to see what people are really about, their true colors. Some people say one thing, but they do another. And, I always kind of remind them, say, hey, didn't we just talk about this at the plate meeting? You're becoming a raving lunatic out here. I quietly walk over to them. You got to call time. You can't come running on the field. There's order here. There's decorum. There's a method and there's a process. And now you're violating it. And they go, okay, I'm sorry. People get emotional about stuff, and I get it. And I'm there for the kids. That's what I tell them all the time. And the kids really are great. They handle it better than mom and dad do.
Well, yeah, I was just going to ask you
Because they're up at the plate.
Who's the worst, the kids, the parents, or the coaches?
I'd have to say the parents. Particularly yesterday, I did a tournament, and that was very intense. These tournaments, like Tom knows, I did 5 games, so the winner gets to the championship. And we had, I will put it to you this way. I hope they don't mind mentioning their names, but there's a gentleman, I'll just say Coach Mark. You would know his son if I mention it, but I won't. His son plays in the major leagues. So it was really kind of cool talking with Mark. My name's Mark, and we had engaged before in a previous tournament. And we were just remarking about how people get all out of whack. And it's about development at this age, at 12, 13, 14, 15. It's about development. It's not about the W's and L's. And that's where I think people lose it. And if you're developing what Tom's talking about, you have to have the appropriate mindset to go up there. When a kid gets in the batter's box, if I see he's nervous, I'll say, step out. And I'll just quietly say, relax. You're never going to hit a baseball like that. Ignore what people are telling you. You know what to do up here, so let's do it. And they do. But everybody puts this in, a certain amount of pressure. I said, just block out all the noise. Don't worry about it. I tell them, hey, that was a great swing. Or even if they strike out, hey, I'll tell them that was a great at bat. I'll just quietly say it. I don't broadcast it real loud. And they appreciate that.
I was going to say, you should be a coach.
Well, I was. My son played it in college, and my younger guy played it in high school. So yeah, I did all that travel stuff. And it's not hard. You just got to work with them. And a lot of it, I really believe a lot of it's up here, particularly trying to hit a baseball. I think that's the hardest thing you'll ever do. You being an engineer, if you understand a round sphere and then an oval bat, trying to hit it dead center, that's a hard thing to do when it's coming at you, 100 miles an hour, or in my case, it could be, 60, 70, that's a pretty good clip. Or and then if it breaks and then you try and hit, it's just not natural. So that's why people like Tom teaches and the tools, that's why professional baseball players still hit off a tee. They're trying to muscle memory and get that perfect swing, and they never stop doing it. They constantly are doing it, so that when a ball's in motion, they know what to do. They just like golf. They know how to swing, how to approach it. Yeah, but you're right. It's I would have to say mom and dad, particularly last night. Our game ended at 7, thank God, and then we were out of here, and so one thing led to the next, and it was kind of cool. But yeah, I was glad to leave. Believe me, after game 5.
I never made it past 7th grade baseball.
Yeah.
And it was a huge difference, like between like 6th grade, summer, pee-wee, whatever, and then 7th grade school baseball. I mean, I couldn't hit at all once I was in 7th grade. And I didn't make the team, and I joined track and never went back to baseball until I went to it was a Seattle Mariners fan day, and they had a pitching machine thing. And I went into the batting cage and tried the pitching machine, and the best I could do was foul it off.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my gosh. I said, how fast was that? Was that like 95? And they're like, no, it was about 70. And I was like, oh my goodness. And it was a pitching machine, so I thought I knew where the ball was going to go, but it wasn't there. So I started swinging and guessing where the ball was going to be because it was so fast. I had to swing early, or else I just fouled it off.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But the ball wasn't always in the spot that I thought it was going to be. I was just swinging and missing most of the time.
No, and you know what? That's the whole point. You got to see it, like they say, your mind's eye, and visualize. These guys in the pros, they can slow it down. They know what's coming or where it's going to go. It's amazing how they do it. I mean, like if you see like 90s, I mean, it's literally you blink your eye and it's in the mid, and you got to have some cat-like reflexes to make that happen. To hit it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't know what the distance is from pitcher to home plate, and it's like 60 feet.
Yeah, something like that.
60 feet
off the top. Put me on.
You have to make a decision whether you're going to swing or not when the ball is like 10 feet away from the pitcher.
Yes. And the best pitchers have a field day with you because they know where it's gone and you don't, unless it hangs. It doesn't do what they want it to do. So yeah, it's crazy stuff. And I won't mention the Braves, but I just did. So we saw how they fell apart. And
that's in Milwaukee.
Yeah, Tom's from that area. Yeah, so what's funny here is they just were ragging on them, the fans, and it's disappointing. You had a primo season, and you just couldn't get it done in the postseason. That's tough. But
I'm a Mariners fan, so I haven't really.
Yeah, they're a good team. They'll get there.
Well, they've been to the playoffs once since 2001.
Did you go when Griffey was playing? Did you watch him at all, or?
Yeah, I lived in the Seattle area.
Nice.
And I mean, Griffey really is the reason that I started watching baseball again.
Tremendous athlete.
See Griffey.
Yeah.
And then A-Rod and then Ichiro.
Yeah.
And the All-Star game in 2001.
Yep.
So that was pretty exciting.
Yeah. Awesome.
Well, Mark, I know you got a ballpark to get to.
I know, I do, because it's we're at, it's about 7:00. So my game's at 7:30, so it'll take me 15 minutes to get there. And Yahoo, can't wait. And everybody will be real serious because this is the playoffs now. So everything was nice. It's hilarious to watch how families yell at one another. Oh boy, so just over a game, but I'm ready for it. I just smile a lot and say, okay, are we done? But the kids will be fine. So we're not worrying about it. But Brian, it was a pleasure to meet you. I enjoyed you sharing your story. I will definitely have to connect.
Thanks.
And I was looking at, PSA. That looks like a cool group to get to know and be affiliated with. I'm surprised people don't do things on it, like you said, they join it within the Facebook or whatever, and they don't really, I guess they're waiting for you to do something for them. I don't know, but
Yeah, like pay them. Like one guy said, he said, I get paid $1,000 a speech. How much are you going to pay me?
right.
I said,
But you know
nothing.
what? Since you mentioned that, that's why you ought to get involved and be connected, everybody, if you want to get paid. Just saying. Right, Tom?
That's it.
I mean,
Be seen, be heard, be found.
yeah,
That's it.
live in the hive, man. We're going to have to start doing that, Tom, is the live in the hive. Remember when we had,
Tanyan?
yeah, that was hilarious, man. It was like our first time, and she was walking us through all these steps because you two were on, and then we had to go back and redo it, and then they finally got me in there as well because it's a little bit of a trick. Yeah. It was kind of wild.
Well,
guys,
Brian, I know Mark's got to get to the ballpark, and Brian, thank you very much. I'm glad you're part of the BeeKonnected team. You're going to be a great contributor to the overall platform, and best of luck to you and your organization, PSA. Never hesitate to reach out to Mark or I. Any way we can help you, we'd be glad to do that, my friend.
All right.
So
Thanks.
we're going to wrap her on down, Mark. I'm going to do our little exit tile, and we'll be out of here.
Sounds great. Thank you.